Welcome to the city that's so nice they had to name it twice. New York, New York. And we're ready for the Big East Tournament. Ford FS1 College Hoops Tip-Off is sponsored by Ford. Going further so you can. Our first game of the evening pits the number 4 team in the nation and the number 2 seed in this tournament. The Villanova Wildcats ready to take on the sharpshooters from Marquette. And the bracket here at the Big East Tournament, Xavier and Providence both advancing. Xavier putting it on St. John's today. Providence had to take Creighton to overtime. Our final game tonight will be Butler and Seton Hall. Hi everybody, I'm Gus Johnson along with the governor, Coach Bill Raftery. And welcome to the Big East Tournament quarterfinals. First game of the night, Marquette, Villanova. Villanova beat them in 2 high-scoring games. This season, what should we expect to see?
You've been the hunted all your life.
Oh,
you've been coveted by everybody. Big thing for Villanova, they got the X on their back. And the guards from Marquette, Rousey and Howard, they can fill it up. They need a big game from this guy who didn't play well last night, Marcus Howard.
All right, let's join the third member of our team on the sideline, Lisa Bytes.
Well, Gus, Jay Wright told me they evaluate the success of their season based on what they did in the Big East regular season. So he said, hey, as the number 2 seed, we fell short to Xavier in terms of consistency. This is my best team offensively that I've had, but it's probably the worst defensive team as well. That is our focus in this tournament, Gus.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups. And, Coach, who jumps out at you for both teams?
Obviously, when you look at that Villanova team, you know what Brunson can do. And, of course, Bridges. The other side, Marcus Howard's got to really play well, I think, for them to succeed.
Your officials, Mike Stevens, Ed Corbett, and Lamar Simpson. Villanova, Marquette. Villanova prevailed in 2 high-scoring games against Marquette this year, winning 190 at Wells Fargo and 85-82 in Milwaukee.
That's Howard right now. Marquette goes. Minute.
How has this Villanova team changed with Booth coming back into the starting lineup and DiVincenzo now coming off the bench?
Oh, the big thing, Gus, is they've gotten deeper, no question. They really do move the basketball as well. What a kick by the big fella Spellman, who lights it up. Bridges. You like it here at the Garden, I know. I can tell by your intro.
This is where Ali Frazier took place, Coach. It's got that fighting spirit.
A little trap. The length hurt Howard last night, and he's got Spellman on him. He could do some damage if they get it to him.
Only 4 points for Marcus Howard. Here's Rousey, who had 25. Anna slicing, pulls up off the bounce, strong. And Booth with the rebound.
Everybody rebounds. And of course, Booth, we know what he can do. We saw in that championship game. Very confident player. The days off, I think, really have helped this kid, or will help him.
20 points in the national championship game to help seal the win. That's Big Smooth. Hit the game winner at the end. Another jump shot in the corner for Bridges. Here comes Howard. He finds a cutting Rousey. Bridges doing a nice job getting back. Hauser in and out.
He's one of the 3 that can bring the bell deep. That's why you got to get back, secure, and identify. A lot of guys that can handle the ball on the perimeter, and this kid just had a great year. Terrific shooter. Brunson as well, a guy can get in the lane and find people.
Jalen Brunson, the Big East Player of the Year. He's got a chance to be the National Player of the Year as well. Rousey.
They are not afraid to chuck and duck.
That's one thing Coach Woj told us about Rousey. He has absolutely 0 fear on the court.
Plays with reckless abandon.
Pascal, the Fordham transfer.
I think he's had a great year, too. Grown in that ability to make threes.
Omari Spellman. And Hauser with the rebound. He'll bring it up the floor himself. Howard, catch and shoot.
There you go.
Great sign for Marquette.
That sure is. They need him involved. And the big thing with Villanova, and I think you'd agree with me, the only time they seem to lose is when they don't shoot it well.
Especially from the 3-point line.
Yeah, exactly. Great motion, ball moving side to side. Nice fake.
Brunson spinning inside, steps through, draws a foul, and will go to the line.
And that's Rousey being out Rousey there. And Brunson's so effective in the lane.
Jay Wright, 17th season as the Villanova head coach. He's got a national championship in his back pocket.
How about that? Tied with Al Severance for the most in the history. Pretty impressive what he's done at that program on a consistent basis.
Jalen Brunson on the season, averaging 19 a game, as Dante DiVincenzo comes in for the first time, replacing Bridges.
You notice how Jay rotates him. He doesn't take the same guy out. It's interesting. He's a fake starter or a fake sub, whichever way you want to go.
Second free throw goes for Brunson. Here's the trap by Villanova. How do you beat this thing, Coach Raff?
I think you've got to attack it at some point, but they do back it off. So you just look at this kid. He is amazing. Huh? You can't back off him. You can back off your defense, but not on number 30.
Rousey with the long jump shot as Marquette takes a 1-point lead.
DiVincenzo is going to be able to get jump shots over Rousey.
Pascal,
Nice
strip.
help.
Howard, nice hands.
Good luck.
Diagonal pass. Anna on the move to the hole, off the glass now. Pascal with the rebound.
Overloaded on the one side. Pretty good defensive balance by Marquette early. They know how important this game is for their program.
Marquette beat DePaul last night 72-69. It was a close one. DePaul down by 14, scratched their way all the way back into it. Here's Booth for three. And snatches it down. Howard on the move.
Well, it is an up and down game. You better identify. They're going to get Booth back to Booth, don't you think? That beautiful stroke he has.
Baseline, Howard, rising fire. Short.
Nice check out on help by Spellman.
Booth missing considerable time this season with a hand injury on his shooting hand. He's got it wrapped up. He says it's okay. Drives to the basket, lost it, out of bounds, will stay right here.
Well, some guys like playing in the playground. This kid gets aroused in the garden at any other place. Very confident stroke from deep, gets the puppies organized. Big time player in a big time arena.
The Big East Tournament is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee, Grand Central Station. A lot of traffic through that building. And you can hop on the train and get to the Garden in no time. 6-5 Marquette so far. Earlier today, game one, Trayvon Blewett scored 27 as Xavier beat St. John's 88-60. Game two, in overtime, Kyron Cartwright, what a move. He hit a huge jump shot. And Mitch Volek missed a game-tying three-pointer. Providence advanced to the semifinals. Are these teams now, Coach Raff, a step closer to dancing?
I think they are. We know the SEC is strong this year, so Alabama's in pretty good shape. K-State, maybe the most powerful conference in the country, and I think Providence is in with that one. Boy, did they dodge one, though. We always talk about, should you foul on that shot?
Right.
You know, amazing. An open look there. We had an open look here last night. Nice extension.
And Mikal Bridges off to a hot start. He has 5. And Villanova reclaims the lead.
It really helps him around the rim. He's just amazing. The extension.
Hauser off the bounce. Loose, rebounded by Pascal. Pascal may be the most athletic player on this team.
I was just thinking he's their Josh Hart this year, I think. He's guy gets a lot of big rebounds, secures deals for them.
And true Villanova form, Josh Hart playing for the Lakers now, injured his hand.
Oh, boy.
Meanwhile, Brunson hits a 3.
Unhurry. You got to hug him. He's so quick in his sense of judgment. He has a great feel for the game. Automatic switching.
Brunson guarding Marcus Howard. Howard with a 37.8 assist game at Villanova in January. Hauser pushed off. Can't get the roll.
Nice look, too. He's got Pascal all over him.
Tight rims at the Garden tonight. DiVincenzo. Elliott, the freshman, going up high. Anna on the hop. Almost lost his footing. Howard, a three.
Nice screen out again. Spellman Health not able to get to the glass. Well, you wouldn't mind playing for either of these teams. A little chuck and duck going on.
Everybody can get some shots up tonight.
Nice and loose. Nobody looking over the side.
Villanova 2 for 7 from the three-point line. 3 for 8 overall.
Pin down curl. They got Bridges.
Here's Bridges.
He can elevate now.
Guarded by Elliott, the freshman. Just backs it down. Holy ball. That's called the Humphrey Bogart.
You Bogarting the guy. You've done that often, usually about 2 in the morning. Back that guy down, manhandle him, abuse him a little, and help, alert to detail.
3 to shoot.
Gillespie on the floor. Everybody on the floor can put it down once and make a 3 or kick it for 1.
Gillespie has a terrific stroke.
Another hand injury kid, right?
Yep.
It's wild. What a nice play.
They tried to lob it inside off the side of the backboard. As it was deflected by Elliott.
DiVincenzo didn't fake it to the corner. You got to set the defender up too on that lob. They got to take 0.3 of a second off. That's the rule they have. Once it's touched. What an opportunity when you think of it for Marquette. An appealing opponent, highly ranked, and you're on the precipice of being in or out. And Bojo knows it. Sense of urgency. I'm sure the kids know it.
Bridges, one dribble, contested, and Hauser with a rebound.
Nice job by Brunson in the back. Help beat him down, beat everybody down.
Hauser looking inside, finds Kane.
Nice front by DiVincenzo. And Help's got a little game with those hooks too. Look how they fight the little guys. This is a lot of work. Diligent to detail.
Rousey step back 3. Help with a rebound. New shot clock for Marquette.
That's because you had that mismatch.
Elliott driving. Inside, stolen by Gillespie. He's got Brunson ahead. DiVincenzo.
Gillespie did have that angle, you're right, but I don't think he would have gotten it there.
Now Brunson posted up. He's great down here. The kick, Gillespie rises. Either team shooting it well. Marquette 2 for 11. Villanova 3 for 11. Help posting up Bridges.
Not many ball screens, and he's got the hook. Watch the steps.
There's that jump hook blocked by Bridges.
Got to pay a toll with that Bridge.
DiVincenzo. $15-footer. DiVincenzo strong.
All getting pretty good shots and not converting.
Rousey deep. Brick rebounded. Elliott up off the glass of the freshman from the Motor City.
Well, if you're a Marquette player, go to the glass. There's going to be a lot of shots. You may not be involved in it, but you can help.
10-8. Great pace.
A lot of individual ability here. Play with a lot of confidence. Look at this catch and shoot.
DiVincenzo looking to find his stroke. He's 0 for 3, and Kane travels. 11:38 to play in the first half. Marquette and Villanova battling. Back after this. Villanova leading Marquette here in the first half. Let's go inside the huddle with Jay Wright.
keep grinding. Keep grinding. We're good, man. We're getting good looks. Just keep grinding. It's a 40-minute game. We got to grind them out. Be ready on makes. Be ready on makes to convert. You got it? All right? Hey, guys, let's go. Let's keep fresh bodies. Everybody be ready. Everybody be ready. All right? Let's keep grinding.
How about the confidence he gives guys? I mean, they are getting good shots, and they're not the least bit concerned. They don't sneak a peek over their head. And he gets on them on their defense, maybe the rebounding. It's never about shooting or hustle. They're all about both.
All right, let's go to Lisa.
In Wojo's huddle, he looked at his guys and he said, hey, we're trying to go for the kill, and boy, do I like that attitude. But the more we move the basketball, the better shots we're going to get. Marquette starting out shooting 21%. Wojo is equating patience with better shots, Gus.
All right, Lisa, thank you very much. Gillespie will bring it into the front court. Brunson moves off the ball.
First time they ran the box set to get the big guy in that low area.
Spellman.
Look at this foul.
Bridges, what a rebound. Gets it again and draws a foul.
Might be Adam.
Coach Woj telling me before the game, here's the deal. Against Villanova, we got to swing first. Period.
So that means taking those deep shots.
Go at them, especially with Rousey and Howard.
They have no fear, though. We've seen that. I was at that game out in Milwaukee, and boy, they went toe to toe. Not the least bit concerned or in awe of the sort of elevated position in the basketball scene.
Second free throw for Bridges is good. So Mikal Bridges with 7 points early. And Villanova takes a 12-8 lead.
And there's that pressure you alluded to earlier. Look at how Bridges denies. Almost come up with him. Brunson stepping in the passing lane. Look at this match now. And they get automatic switch.
Theo John is checked in, number 4 for Marquette. Annam down the lane. Beautiful play.
Sure was, and they had that switch too, John. Took Gillespie right to the rim, and he occupied, and really nobody to negate at the rim either.
Zakar Annam with 14 last night on 6 of 9 shooting in 33 minutes.
He played well. He played good defense too.
Pascal. Woo. Hard drive. Double pump. Gets his own rebound. Kicks it out. Brunson off the dribble.
Everybody gets a touch.
Bridges trying to free himself. And he draws a bump.
Knew he could take his guy, Johnson. John at a disadvantage, Theo John, but this is just as they take him in here. That occupies. If it doesn't go in, you've got the size, the position, a rebound. Almost Bridges-like with this extension. Adam showing the flair to get to the 10.
Adam, Richard, sophomore from Minneapolis. Spellman. Here's Pascal. And lays it in strong.
Well, he almost spun himself out of business there. A lot of advertising on that play.
14-10.
Not a good gamble by Spellman.
Howard, double pump, and he'll rattle it in.
It cost him 2.
Howard with 5. Remember, he only had 4 last night.
You can't shut that kid out too often. He was just in a little bit of a funk just by judging, don't you think?
Yes. He's out of it. Gillespie curling down the lane on the big hop off the window, and good.
And that's part of that confidence that built in this team with all those injuries. Guys stepping up in a replacement role. Now they get in and play with a lot of confidence.
Howard crosses over Brunson. The lob! Almost had Kane on the baseline. Third turnover for Marquette.
As pretty as that looked, when it fails, it's unattractive, isn't it?
That's right. Here's Bridges. Jumps him down. Spellman with a nice catch. Pascal.
He stopped. Yeah, good call, Gus. You talked about Pascal earlier. Just an aggressive kind of a kid. Out of Fordham, out of New York. Just great strength. A lot of spinning. Wound himself a little bit dizzy, but Gillespie, you mentioned his stroke. Now he's not afraid to attack, but they keep moving, so you don't have the big guy in the middle to jam things up.
And a reach-in foul coming up on Gillespie. That's the first Villanova foul of the game.
Eddie Corbett not really hustling it after that loose ball.
Well, he's going to retire at the end of the year.
I know, I can't believe it. One of the best officials.
Trying to talk him out of it. Here's a weave. Give it to Rousey. Guarded by Gillespie. Rousey. Incredible handle. Pulls up. Pure.
And he was right there. And he just looks over at the bench to Jay Wright. He is a piece of work.
Guy's a movie star. Matinee idol coach.
Nobody can play me.
16-14. DiVincenzo down the lane, finger roll, and it's good for the big Ragu.
That's what he can do, mix his game up. He's got a little power game as well. Have you ever had Ragu? I mean, your style.
I grew up on Ragu, bro. Coach, come on.
You're a Bolognese. You're not a Ragu.
I'm a right out of the jar Ragu guy.
That is exotic dining for me in my house. A bottle of Ragu over to Max.
Rousey thinking about it, lets it fly.
It's amazing.
Movie star, coach.
He is. Without the shades. No page 6 item either.
Marquette has hit 4 shots in a row. 18-17.
One thing about Villanova, they are very explosive. Don't get overconfident. Love that pinch post ISO.
They swing it. Gillespie. Puts it on the floor. Lost it. And a foul coming up. Looks like Rousey and Howard.
He doesn't need those kind of fouls if he gets that one, but this kid just has a flair and knows enough how high he has to go to knock shots down. A little nylon mid-range, and from downtown, he has utter confidence, disdaining the day with that stroke. Loves the show in the big time.
Semi-final berth on the line. Villanova, Marquette. We've got a good one, folks. Tonight, it's the Pac-12 tournament live from Las Vegas. Quarterfinal action continues as Oregon takes on Utah tonight at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific on FS1, or stream it live on Fox Sports Go. I got a question for you, Coach Raftery. 18-17 our score. Think about this. Watch the Big Ten in the tournament. When was the last time one of the Power 5 conferences had an entire week off prior to going into the NCAA?
I think the only one is Gonzaga, the West Coast.
Okay.
They had this is like 12 days for some of them.
That's what I'm saying.
That's nobody, I don't
That's
think.
great rest,
No.
treatment,
Right.
and it's almost like training camp for these guys.
You know, your point is well taken, because it helps teams that have an injury, or it helps teams that have older guys, because they've been listening to that voice for 4 years, 3 years. And sometimes that time off, plus the emotion of going into a tournament, can be very helpful. I mean, it's wait and see kind of a deal, but it will tell a story.
Tom Izzo, Matt Painter, Chris Holtman, and Professor Beeline will get a chance to really coach their guys up.
He loves that fake handoff.
Here's Brunson on the back down. Ooh. Loose. Crosby Roundtree couldn't hold on.
And does a nice job on the glass, that kid.
Howard straight away deep.
The two of them together, they are amazing.
These guards, Howard and Rousey, folks, are a treat to watch. Howard has 8, Rousey has 8.
They can do it together, or right now doing on a solo.
Brunson. Skip pass, DiVincenzo. Drives, spins, jump hook, and good.
He can do that, I think, a number of times. Nice setup with the pump and use it to bounce. See if they can get Hauser involved a little bit, take the pressure off the guards. And he's got the advantage here, disadvantage booth.
Step back jumper, Hauser rims off. DiVincenzo swooping in for the rebound. Play it forward to Brunson. Slips down the lane, right hand up. No.
Just off their game a little bit, not finishing the deal.
Kane And a reach-in coming up against Nova.
Yeah, Booth didn't get in position, but look at this range now. You've got to be ready over half court. Get in your stance, get a hand up. A little nylon. Different night tonight, but the power of your man from Delaware. Pretty solid both ends, whether it's the shot or the post up off the bounce.
Talked to Dante before the game in the Villanova locker room. He's a liberal arts major, and one of the subjects he's interested in is philosophy.
Well, you're the right guy to deal with it. And by the way, it's the Nick locker room. As they
Howard
light
again.
it up. You know, they don't care who shoots at those two either.
Nothing philosophical about Howard right now. He's catching it, letting it fly. 23-20.
That's his philosophy.
There you go, Coach. 3 of 5 from the three-point line for Howard. DiVincenzo, and a whistle.
He's found a way now, exploiting off the bounce, and that's a telltale, really. Defensively, you're not moving your feet, you're not containing, and that's when Villanova gets dangerous, because now you've got to help a little bit, over-help in some situations. Guys can step in and get a nice-looking stroke on a kick.
DiVincenzo averaged 18 points a game against Marquette this season, shooting 56% in the two for Villanova.
Well, he is some athlete, too, as you well know.
Yep.
Amazing things he can do, both in the air and with some strength.
Redshirt sophomore.
His injury was a leg injury, wasn't it, as I recall?
I believe so. DiVincenzo deep. And hits.
How about that? Showing you a little bit of my game, huh? They get right into their press.
DiVincenzo has scored the last 8 for Villanova.
There'll be so many different people that bite you with the Cats.
Howard.
Automatic switching.
Takes Pascal off the dribble, gets to the hole. Pascal with the block. Great recovery by Pascal. Inside, Spell. And Bridges.
Pure. And a foul.
And the foul.
The closeout, faulty. They don't really take bad shots. Spellman, a lot of guys, because you hadn't had a touch in a while, will do something damaging to the team. And a chance for 3 with that deuce. I think his foot was on the line.
And that's the shot, that corner shot, that the NBA guys are drooling over, along with his ability to play defense and his wingspan and his athleticism. But being able to hit that corner shot, a la Bruce Bowen.
Right. You know who comes to mind, and not a similar player, but Curry Kittles, in the way he could fill a lane as well. That's another add to his game. I mean, he can get out on that wing. I can just see Jason Kidd giving it to Curry Kittles.
I love Kerry Kittle's game. 11 points for Bridges.
A lot to like about him as a guy, too.
Pretty good golfer, Coach.
Yeah, and I see him hitting balls. He's down at Princeton, loves it.
Howard, another 3. Uh-oh.
He had Spellman. Spells doom.
Howard with 14, and we still have 4:20 to go in the first half. 28-26, Nova. Bridges.
He can go, I think, on help.
Spellman looking for some touches down there.
There's a disadvantage. Look at this.
And 1.
He knew this had to get the ball. That's why they were a good basketball team. They got it around the horn, knowing their mainstay could do some damage. A little blow-by helped. Comfortable around the rim defensively. The only way you can hold them is wrap them up, but jab, step, Spellman say, you're not going to drive on me. You can get 3, and that's the way big guys are. Don't want to be embarrassed.
Mikal Bridges now with 13. He adds a free throw. This kid is growing every second. Mikal Bridges. As Theo John checks back in for the final 4 minutes. Feels like we just started, Coach. We only have 4 minutes to go.
There's something different about being out in this place, though, don't you think? Everybody's happy. Eddie Corbinal's got his hand in it.
Howard decked. Either Gillespie or Brunson call for the foul. 31-26, Nova.
Bridges and Howard both with 14 points. It's a 5-point game. Rob Stone with you. And coming up on the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report, the latest on the fallout from the conclusion of the St. John Xavier game. Our 4v5 matchup earlier went to overtime. And Gus, there have been no shortage of Gus Johnson type games. Lots of buzzer beaters so far.
Let's hope it stays that way, Stoner. We've got some tournament heroes so far.
Coming down the stretch, nobody better than Gus, but Colin Sexton, outstanding freshman, big time against A&M, and we've watched Trayvon Blewett, just an amazing career. And big time today, Kyle Guy. Kid is a heck of a player. Big game against Louisville. And speaking of big game player, loves the bright lights. Gus Johnson, courtside, stepping it up here to impress him. Kid plays hard all the time. Of course, his back.
And I think for Rousey, it's all in the shoes, Coach.
Yeah.
We got to get you some fresh kicks, man.
Yeah, I heard.
You know, we got to get you some fresh kicks.
I heard they have some shoes for you.
No, not for
begging last night.
Do
That's
they?
what I heard.
I'll take those right there. That's a size 11.
Wow. I don't know if they'd look good going to Sunday Mass.
Fresh Jordans. For Rousey, you know, he learned his jump shot. He told me he learned his jump shot from his dad.
Wow.
Dad never played college ball, but he could ball.
And everybody saw him. He did well. Give up.
Jalen Brunson learned from his father as well. On the steal, the Euro, flipped it up. And a travel.
I guess their legs got tangled up. He was ready to do damn. Maybe one more bounce would have got him a little bit closer. Yeah, right there, got the little hiccup on that crossover. Pretty good hands at the other end. That's nice when you think of it, right? They compete like heck and have a lot of respect.
Rousey guarded by Gillespie. Tough draw for Gillespie, the freshman, against the senior. Look at it. Shake, rattle, fires. And foul from behind the three-point line.
Well, he did a pretty good job except reaching in, and that's what Rousey does. He befuddles you. All the great players have a bounce and a rhythm and a balance.
Bounce.
Yeah, it's like they know how high they have to explode in the air. They know how much distance they need to knock that shot down. He's got the do, he's got the mouth, he's got the whole thing.
He's a movie star, Coach.
Yeah.
3 things you need to know about Mr. Rousey. His favorite book, Cat in the Hat, little Dr. Seuss. Biggest fear, ghosts, dream date, wherever she wants to go. Now that's a smart dude.
It is. And I know he's got the bank account to back it up.
Wherever she wants to go.
He must not.
You know what? I'm 50 years old. It's still taking me time to figure that one out, Coach.
He must have not have a steady date if he's throwing that line out there. Somebody will take advantage.
Howard and Rousey have 19 for Marquette. DiVincenzo and Bridges have the last 15 for Nova. Who wins if they play 2-on-2?
Ooh. Tell you what, the way they shoot, I wouldn't. This kid's taking a nice cut to bend out, huh? And unselfish. You talked about a dad teaching a kid how to play. Brunson absorbed and exhibits on that play to cut.
33-29. Here's Howard. He's got the touch tonight.
This is why their driving game becomes important, because you got to get right up on them on the catch.
Hauser inside. John muscled it up, but shuffled his feet.
Yeah, a little bounce in that 5th turnover, Gus. And how about this? The little, don't just count the house. Be alert. Little spin, great vision. DiVincenzo, unselfish, and why they win games.
Brunson will take his time.
Remember, they're explosive. Big close necessary for Marquette.
DiVincenzo. Marquette can get closer. Rousey pushes the place in transition, and he ripped it.
Where are you? And look at Jay Wright is livid. Nobody got to half court and got in a defensive stance. That's the only thing that really gets his ire.
33-32. Rousey with a big first half. He has 14 inside. Brunson just takes him into the hole and lays it up and in.
You can see the consistency of using the dribble. Marquette, a little Ole D.
Rousey trying to draw the foul. John boxed out nicely by Pascal. Pascal. And a reaching foul coming up. Coach Woj can't believe that one.
They give it to John. Yep. And the big fella gets his hand in. And this kid just lights it up in so many areas of the floor. But you can just see the defense. You got to run up to him. Even if he beats you, they've got good understanding of the help. But the dexterity, the flexibility there of Brunson. Go right, come back to that dominant hand.
Coach, what's the key to picking up your man in transition defense?
Well, first of all, it depends where you are. First, you protect the rim, then you peel off. But this particular play, everybody's covered, but you've got to come up and play these two 30 feet away and just try and move your feet.
Sometimes I see teams practicing getting all the way back, all 5 of them in the paint.
Well, nowadays, with the three-point line, one to the basket, one stops the ball, everybody else has got to get out and match up.
37-32. Howard looking for that shot. Spinning inside. Flipped it out, banged in.
Well, it's 2 versus 3. That's the advantage of that particular play defensively.
Marcus Howard with 16 points.
They read who's guarding them. They exploit that big guy.
Howard and Rousey have scored the last 24 for Marquette. Bridges, he's been dominant again.
They really have done a great job creating on their own. Don't need any X's and O's.
16 for Bridges.
Howard being more available than he was yesterday, even though they had the size of DePaul on him. Now they got a hold, I think. Brunson underneath.
That's his second.
How about this? Shake, maneuver him, take advantage, and then body search at the rim by Howard. This is really, because you can shoot the ball, the attention of Pascal, but the answer at the other end. Mean and lean. Little drop step. Leave him in the dust. Number 25.
.45 seconds remaining. Hauser muscling his way to the basket. Too strong.
Nice wall up.
Nova will slow it down now. 32 seconds remaining in the first half. Jay Wright calls a timeout. 39-34. Villanova with the lead and the rock.
There's no bigger basketball experience than the Big East tournament at Madison Square Garden in New York City. You pull up and you're underneath the garden and you just feel the electricity. And then you walk to the freight elevator and no one says a word. And then those elevator doors open up. You can hear the buzz of the crowd. There's no vibe like that anywhere in the world. You know it's on.
This taste of the Big East tournament is sponsored by Guinness. Here's to us all.
You know, guys, I've heard, I don't know this, but I've been told from good sources that people say to George Clooney, you look a lot like Jay Wright.
You know what? I would agree with you. Just not as well dressed.
That's right.
George.
George can't afford the clothes that this guy has.
GQJ. 32 on the game clock, 23.
Patty buys a pair of socks, he gets upset. As long as he can have his 300 or 400 suits.
Money well spent. Here's DiVincenzo.
They've been great off the dribble.
Boom. Rips through, gets to the basket, and lays it in.
They have an answer. I mean, even though Marquette has played real well, if they don't button down defensively.
Final 6 seconds. Rousey lets it fly from the logo.
He's got another one.
Can he get it off? Up. And no good.
He can get a shot from the men's room. Buy a hot dog, take care of business, and still Get enough ammunition during the game.
Howard and Rousey with 30 of the team's 34.
They need these guys to light it up, but he is a gamer. He thought he had it. He would have danced out of here on that one halftime, but ever conscientious in his approach to that offensive end.
Bridges with 16, Brunson with 9, DiVincenzo with 8. Let's go to Lisa.
Well, Coach, you said defense was going to be an emphasis, but Rousey and Howard have all but 4 of their points here at the half. How do you change things in the second?
I don't know yet. I really don't. Those two are so tough. You know, you get up on them and they go by you, and you give them any space and they drill it, man. They are tough. We just got to get good matchups, and we got to just be a little bit tougher, and we got to take away their threes without getting blown by.
Offensively for you, Mikal Bridges has almost half of your points. What is favorable about his matchup?
They really do a good job taking away threes, so Mikal's being really aggressive when there's not a lot of help in there getting to the rim.
All right, Jay, thank you. Gus?
All right, that's the end of the first half with the score, 41-34 Villanova. Rob Stone, Donnie Marshall, and Len Elmore will be back with the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report right after this. And welcome back to the Big East Tournament, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Ready for the second half, 41-34. Villanova leads Marquette. Gus Johnson along with Coach. Man, I got to talk to you about something.
Is it my outfit?
No, yes. You know, we have to improve your footwear.
Ooh. People have been talking.
We're going to have to turn in the penny loafers.
Oh.
And give him some Jordans. Now, you got to put these on.
New meaning to
You got to put these on right now.
That'll be tough.
All right.
But getting the puppy set.
You got to organize right here.
I've gotten the puppy set.
Those are for
right?
you,
30 points. Unbelievable. Thank you.
There you
I know
go.
you didn't pay for these.
Of course not. They were a gift from Marquette when we're going to get onions put on the side. So when you step out, you got some nice sneakers, Coach.
Oh, that's great. Put that with a tuxedo.
All right, let's take a look at the Jeep first half stats.
And, of course, 30 of the points, amazing, are the guards. It's just incredible. Getting out on those three-point shots is very important, I think, for Villanova if they're going to win it.
Let's go to Lisa Byington.
Wojo told me we need a third scorer. We absolutely cannot win this game with Howard and Rousey getting 85% of our scoring. Defensively, they want to cut down on the dribble dive. The plus 12 points in the paint advantage makes them susceptible. Whatever, Gus, you know what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. No problem, Lisa. We understand. So Marquette with the basketball. Here's Annam driving to the hole, and he'll bank it in.
And Hauser, who's an excellent passer, and they got their answer there. Some points from somebody different than the guards.
41-36. 4 points for Sakar.
And this is the end, Gus, that they have to really button down. Nice back screen and nice easy, not a finish, but approach to the foul line for 2. But the difficulty for Marquette is stopping the dribble. And then you have just chaos on defense.
I tell you what, as Bridges continues to develop, now we're starting to see him really take over games. We didn't see that early. And it may not be the Villanova way for younger players to be able to do that.
Well, you know, it's personality plays within the system. But now you can see he's not afraid to put it on the deck or post up or ask for it, and well deserving of it. Who did you beg for those shoes, by the way? I know.
Don't worry about it. I know people in high places.
You know,
I got a guy.
I got a guy. Now you're a New Yorker now. You got a guy.
That's right. 18 for Mikal Bridges.
Baseline bumps, Howard, and now comes Rousey.
Rousey, quick release off a screen and knocks it down.
Boy, it's tough to stay with them because they're not only deceptive, but they are quick.
Rousey with 17. Marquette staying close. Rousey 17. Howard 16. Bridges 18 for Villanova.
Right there. Now Bridges wanted that. See, now you're right. He wouldn't do that a couple of years ago.
Takes him deep, gets to the bucket, and draws another foul.
Yeah, I mean, he can just beat you in so many areas, but it arouses you the way this guy uses screens and gets himself squared. Get him organized. Andrew can do. Unbelievable quick jack. And tough to tag him all the way.
Andrew Rousey, matinee idol. Meanwhile, Bridges is really starting to show that NBA type game now, Coach.
He does.
They say he could be a lottery pick. Wow.
The way he guards, too. You know, the big thing in the NBA, nobody gets drafted for defense. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
But he can do both. That's what makes him extraordinary.
Howard drives baseline, cut off by Brunson. Rousey. Hauser's got to get going offensively. Pascal, tough guard. And Hauser foul.
Nice step through, too. He can be a load.
Let's take a look at the bracket here at the Big East Tournament, Coach. What do you think about these matchups now? Xavier and Providence both advancing.
Yeah, big thing for Providence now. Can they recapture that drive that got them through this afternoon with Creighton? You know, all of a sudden they hey, maybe we're in now, kind of. And you can't let that happen with their kids.
Providence has to hit free throws. That's a big Achilles heel for them, although they did defeat Xavier in Providence this season. At Providence this season.
Now you can put a blanket over some teams on certain nights in this conference. And that's why the NCAA is going to be so enjoyable. Tough to give anybody a couple of picks because it all depends who gets hot because there's so many good teams.
Coach Woj hoping that he secured a bid with their win against DePaul last night. Now Booth, the teardrop high off the glass ended.
And once again, the bounce. Not a whole lot of diagrams. That's why Marquette's got to button it up.
Rousey. Hauser slipping off the glass and good.
Well, he is stepping up now, isn't he?
That's right. They need him. Coach Woj telling us that all three of his big guys have to play well. Rousey, Howard, and Hauser.
And Hauser playing hurt too, Woj was telling us.
Looks like he may have injured himself slipping in the paint yesterday. Yeah. Meanwhile, Brunson with a finger roll.
Again, no magic about it. Nice interception, Spellman, and a quick give. Look at the numbers here.
Bridges kicks it out. DiVincenzo.
I thought he was too unselfish, didn't you?
And Kane with the steal as he steps into the passing lane.
Look at now they're getting up on him over half court. Them being these outstanding guards. Spellman's gotten better defensively too. Seen him show on ball screens. Beat his guy to the post.
Here's a switch. Bridges guarding Rousey now.
That's a tough match for him or anybody.
Rousey inside to Hauser, just taken away by Spellman. Kicks it out to Booth. He's got Brunson on the fast break. And textbook fast break for Villanova.
And on cue, Spellman growing as a freshman, ending on that defensive end. The denial, the kick, the finish. Both in the interior, which was key. But look out here now. The switch to help out, and Brunson makes Rousey commit, goes airborne, and boy, you are in Never Never Land there. And how about the pass here? Numbers obviously, great bounce pass. Well, that is just gorgeous basketball. Textbook defense being in the right spots.
And Villanova taking a 50-43 lead. Nova has made 13 of their last 17 field goals after a 3-for-16 start. This kid, the sky is the limit. Omari Spellman, the Big East Rookie of the Year from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, that's the enjoyment, I think, for both of us. See guys getting better. Talent, and then they raise the level with industrious behavior, paying attention to detail.
Let's see how Marquette responds now. Howard has been quiet to start this second half.
And they are just trailing on that tag. That's a tough shot under duress.
Batted around, Brunson plucks it out of the air. Bridges fires a three in transition, short.
Tough match here.
Kane, a three.
They put you back on your with the bounce, pushing the basketball. A little timeout. They got timeout. Heading play.
Booth gets that timeout. 50-43. Villanova back to the Garden right after this. Leading Marquette. Let's take a look at some teams that are already dancing, Coach Raftery.
Building it up, huh? Of course, locally, you mentioned Iona and LIU last night. How about Loyola Chicago, 1963? Jerry Harkness. Remember that name? Was drafted by the Knicks.
And according to Howie Schwab, here are the #1 seeds, 2 coming from the Big East.
How about that? What high praise for this conference. Of course, Virginia, they just shut you up, tie you up, make it awfully difficult and efficient on the offensive end. And Graham, what a year he's had for the Jayhawks. Unbelievable. Woj didn't like some of those calls the last trip. What a competitor this kid was. A lot of toughness.
DiVincenzo will throw it in bounds. Rousey guards the ball. Villanova starting to throw it in the high gear offensively. DiVincenzo, baseline basket. And travels.
But again, everybody, the ability to bounce and beat their guy, individual breakdowns. And I thought DiVincenzo had that difference in size with Rousey. This is the end of the play. I thought he should have taken it. No, but pretty good football. Helt's a good defender, knows his role.
Howard, and he just whizzes this one out of bounds.
Not as good a passer as Rousey. You know, more of a 2-guard kind of approach.
8 turnovers for Marquette, 6 for Villanova. As Gillespie will walk it up the floor.
Can't afford empty trips if you're Marquette. Villanova just keeps, in a relentless fashion, pounding you.
Runs it, popping out on the wing, guarded by Anna. Now a switch, Helt's guarding him. Tries to cross him over, loses it. DiVincenzo
on the sideline.
And he steps on the baseline out of bounds.
That's that play Brunson loves, that fake handoff, little football play, and just get a little too deep and run out of space.
And FYI, they had some water leaking from the roof earlier today.
Is that right? Because that happened up in Providence in the Seton Hall game.
That's right. And rejected Bridges. Not only did he reject it, Bill Russell style.
And kept it.
Brought it down, Brunson, and it's good.
Got to be careful. 10. Need a good trim.
Largest lead of the game for the Wildcats.
I think you got to go through Hauser a little bit now. Take the pressure off the guards.
Rousey looking for that jump shot. Inside, help, and he's fouled from behind by Bridges.
Just the ability defensively to be in the right spot and just reading it beautiful. Bridges, there's so many things he does well. Unselfish, and Brunson able to get him organized and drill that jumper. Unselfish.
Is that counted as a rebound when you block it to yourself?
That's a good question. I would say
I believe it is.
You do.
So he got a block shot, a rebound, and an assist on one play.
On the same trip. I'm retired.
Gillespie called for his third.
That's a career for a lot of guys.
How about it? Howard. And Howard, quick release. Short. Mari Spellman with another one-handed rebound.
Tough, physical, presence.
4 rebounds for Spellman.
Spellman's got some disadvantage inside.
Booth exploding to the basket and lays it in.
Another year, Spellman will be locking in there and they'll be getting the ball to him, deferring to upperclassmen.
9-0 run for the Wildcats. Howard rips through, drives baseline off the glass, in and out. Spellman.
They do a great job locking their pivot foot.
Quick release, Booth, pure.
Gotta get one, gotta get one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the Tide. It's
Villanova
flowing.
percolating.
They sure are. They can innocently nuance you into a substantial lead. A little mismatch. Booth taking a big time to the tin when you got that center. Just a great feel. He's got confidence. He's healthy. And they are deeper, Gus. A lot of answers. Stroke. Big time.
We talk to our guys all the time when we get to the Big East tournament of what an honor it is. I think about the best basketball conference tournament in America on the biggest stage in Madison Square Garden. Whether you're a coach or a player, there's something different about the vibe in Madison Square Garden. It makes for the best atmosphere. It does not get any better.
This taste of the Big East tournament is sponsored by Guinness. Here's to us all.
And Gus, there's nothing like a good marriage. And the reason I say that, amongst, this is a three deal. You got the Big East starting, Fox Sports 1, and the Garden. I mean, the blend of it has cultivated this magnificent league. It's just been extraordinary, the relationship of all three.
I agree with you 100%, Coach. Line. Elliott, no. Rebounded again by Spellman. And then there's me and you.
Yeah, that's, well,
Brunson.
thanks for that, right?
Over 20 years.
They don't mind switching.
Howard contested and hits.
But they needed one badly. And Booth really didn't get up on him, get the hand in, and I'm not so sure he may not be coming out now. DiVincenzo up.
Howard's first points in the second half. He is 19 now.
Little zone look now. This is dangerous. Flash and kick, or you don't get up on the shooter. Look at this.
Oh, a tick jam by Pascal.
A lot of bad things can happen. Amongst them, a miss and no check out because of the priority to zone his area.
That kid Pascal, coach, is a freight train.
He's a tough, tough kid.
Rousey popping out. He'll fire a three and hits. So easy for these two guards.
And you can see the movement on the screen is what Jay Wright's upset about. Gillespie couldn't get out, but boy, Rousey clever, getting organized.
Rousey with 20, 5 of 10 from the three-point line, 6 of 12 overall. Booth for three.
How about that?
Back and forth they go, folks.
Tough to match goals with this club.
Booth had 2 points at halftime. He has 12 now. Rousey, this time off the window. Pascal grabs it.
You look around, there's shooters all over. Look at this pursuit by Pascal. Doesn't come up with it, but effort personified. Just a real good understanding of being in the right spot. You flash the post, don't count the house, come to that rim. You like it big, strong, physical, Gus.
11:42 to play in the second half. Villanova with a 63-49 lead. (63-49). Villanova on top of Marquette. From the director of Fast and the Furious, the Hurricane Heist is in theaters tomorrow, March 9th. Let's go inside the huddle with Coach Woj.
There's plenty of time. There is plenty of time. We got to get stops. We have to string some stops together. We have to make Orange work. And Orange, the thing I don't want, no standstill threes. Make him shoot contested shots. Keep them out of the paint, make him shoot contested shots. and everybody's got to rebound.
You know, it's somewhat frustrating, too, having been an underdog most of my life. When you're in a game, a fight with a team like Villanova, there's so many areas of concern. But the big thing, if you're going zone, maybe get them to rush a shot, but you've got to rebound, gang rebound.
Think about Villanova. It seems like they can beat you from all 5 positions, no matter who's in the game.
Exactly, and now they're like 7.5, 8 deep.
Rousey backing up on Gillespie. Leans in, draws a foul.
That's an offensive foul in the NBA. You know that.
Yes.
Yeah, he gets away with it. He initiated the contact. He is so clever. And in college, this is a foul too, although he did get into his area and bit. Gillespie, that is.
Gillespie with 4. Rousey with 20 tonight.
Kid makes free throws as well. 90%.
Andrew Rousey from Lexington, Virginia. Transfer from UNC Asheville. Second free throw good.
He'll extend the floor. And this is, they got to make sure they get back, collapse into a defense. And this team will attack.
DiVincenzo gets it in the front court to Bridges.
Good ball move, gets an open look.
Brunson double teamed in the corner. Skips it. Pascal for 3. Bam.
How about that? And that kid, 18, 19, 20% from threes early in the year. Worked on his game, got the confidence from the staff to shoot it. Up to 30 now, I think. Right?
31% from the 3-point line.
Nice slip.
And Theo John will bang it down.
There's a party going on. Theo John.
First basket of the game for Big Theo. Baseline. Spellman a 3.
Then you can't press him. They do not just wait for you to settle back in your defense. They shoot with such confidence and some unerring ability to boot.
First basket of the game for the Big East Rookie of the Year. Or Freshman of the Year.
Nice
Inside John.
Working.
Rousey wide open.
Well, that's a one easy look for him.
69-53 Nova. Bridges with 19 points and 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Gaudy numbers. DiVincenzo shows it, kicks it, fronts it, up top, pure. Wow, clinic.
It is. Now they're all percolating. Cobwebs are gone.
19 for Jalen Brunson. Howard.
Much better defense on the ball screen.
Hauser. Spellman closes on him.
Pretty cut.
Kane, reverse layup, good.
Hauser, terrific passer. Great vision.
It's amazing to watch young guys that can really play.
It is.
Villanova team can play.
And I'm looking at Brunson. He just has a great feel of pace and what they need to do. Look at this. Drive, draw, get a guy, 2 people, and let your big man drift. Hello, Golden State.
Exactly. They look like a college version of the Golden State Warriors. Back-to-back threes for Amari Spellman. Howard.
Look at Pascal attack. He's going to get a foul, I think. The physicality of that. A young guy, he's getting old before your eyes, able to knock that baby down. Once he gets a little more post-game, which he does possess, and they go to a little more next year.
They say he's got a nice handle with the ball.
Not bad. Everything he does is good. Defensively, we've seen him do some terrific things this game.
Now Howard wraps it around and lays it in. But the key for Marquette, can they come up with some stops on defense?
Yeah, you heard Wojo in the timeout. Putting them together is the key.
Howard with 21.
That's why Jay Wright doesn't go to the dry cleaner.
Top of the key, Bridges. That's why he doesn't go to the dry cleaner, because he's got players.
He can wear the same shirt all week. Not that he would.
22 for Bridges. Villanova's last 6 field goals, all 3-pointers.
It's tough to get ready for. That's the problem.
And he answers.
He's played well. Last couple of games getting better.
Only a sophomore, athletically.
And a good defensive player.
Bridge, make that Brunson again. Wow, he's got a lot of boogie.
He does.
In his game. Boogie Brunson gets there, draws a foul, and will go to the line.
BP.
The Boogie Man. 80-60. Villanova just.
He can go both ways. Don't let him get to that dominant hand. Twist and turn. Got held on a string. A little kiss by the lead guard and maybe the lead candidate for Player of the Year right into your living room. Put that trophy in your hip pocket. Where's George Clooney when you need him?
Welcome back to the Big East Tournament, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. 80-60, Villanova on top of Marquette. Mikal Bridges putting up some gaudy numbers.
He sure is. Got 22 with 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 0 turnovers. A big-time factor defensively with that length. To be able to stretch and guard little and big.
Just a complete all-around game. Unselfishness by this team. Here are their numbers on Bridges, Brunson, and Booth.
See, you could never play for Villanova.
I could not. That's what I was going to ask you. I'd have to get my shots. I mean, I've talked to Jay Wright about it. I tell him I can give him 8 minutes, but I got to get at least 8 shots.
I'm not even going to get into the shots. The ball would stick. They get to you, and the other 4 could sell some popcorn.
I mean, how do coaches, because one thing you notice about teams like Villanova, they're so unselfish and they have star players. How do you get them to buy in, Coach?
It's a team concept. It's obviously every day working at it, and it's the type of kids you recruit. I mean, these kids are all about winning the game. When you win the game, everybody benefits. Got a great staff.
Howard driving, hangs in the air, and somehow managed to squeeze it in. Marcus Howard with a big bounce-back game after scoring only 4 points, a season low yesterday. 23 tonight.
And these two could get 60. And against Villanova, it wouldn't hamper them.
Remember, Villanova, the number 2 seed in this tournament. Xavier, the number 1 seed. Inside, Pascal drives and lays it in.
And that is a big load. A truck. Attacking too with speed, alacrity, a little finesse as well.
Rousey lost it on the way up, gets it back, 17 to shoot.
Look where you have to guard these two.
Howard, Spellman can't corral it, and out of play.
And just amazing when this kid came. I don't think you could get. You think you would have said blow by with him initially? Now, because he can shoot it and it puts you in that spin cycle and does some damage.
He was the Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Year when he was at Florida.
Rose Hill. I'm sure a lot of regrets up there with him gone.
82-62.
Same thing when Steve Shear left school. A lot of regrets that he came.
Well, he left magna cum laude, our producer, Steve Shear.
Magna cum lately.
Always killing it. Inside, Hauser pivots. Contested by Spellman, picked out of the air by Howard. He'll take it straight away. Jay off the heel. Oh, Adam!
Wow. Amen. Adam. Boy, Pogo.
We have seen Coach some dunks in this tournament.
We have. There's not enough inside influence for Marquette.
Bridges He is in the zone.
And they were right there. I mean, hand up by Kane, didn't matter.
Mikal Bridges with 25, 7 and 4 assists. Annam, fadeaway. 5:24 to go. Bridges' career high is 28.
Now, like all the old-time coaches, they had to take the air out of it, rest a little bit, move the clock when you got total control. When something good occurs.
Booth. Spellman hit one from there the last time, and that's back-to-back-to-back three-pointers for Amari Spellman.
Wow. How do you cover all of that?
You can't.
You can't. You can't get that weak side help and still cover. But what do you think, guys? Woo. Bang. Send it in. That is impressive. Only a deuce, but beautiful.
Reset is sponsored by SoFi, rethinking personal finance.
And the difficulty cover. Look at the shooting, guys. That is just astronomical. And the ability to do some damage with the dribble has surfaced all evening long.
The winner of this game will take on the winner of our next game tonight between Butler and Seton Hall. A 3 versus a 6. Xavier and Providence will battle tomorrow at 6:30 on FS1.
And you know, Gus, a couple of years ago, when Letterman had a show, we were in a little skit that was going to play during the tournament, and he was going to pick the winner. So I'm there, and I'm all set to go. I think I'm going to be on Letterman. And he says to me, who answers the door when the bell rings? And he's picking the champion now. And I go, I do. He said, no, the butler. I was embarrassed. Oh, no, I hope he's all right. He's holding his shoulder. He's been banged up and nicked a little bit. Oh, that's where the shoulder got jammed up, boy, on Pascal. Nothing illegal or dirty. Hopefully he can shake that off.
As he looks like he'll be going into the training room.
And that's almost like that separation can happen.
Hauser.
They're just so comfortable switching. Denny Crum used to do this at Louisville quite a bit. Seal off. So fundamentally sound.
DiVincenzo. Pascal. Right at the elbow.
That's his home away from home.
Bridges saves it from going out of bounds. 8 to shoot. Ball a little slippery now. 5 to shoot for Booth. He'll get to the bucket off the glass. Ejected by Kane. And a shot clock violation against Nova.
Great reaction defensively. Maybe Kane came over there more long. Talk about Bridges. He's the same. Jay Sweat's more of a 4-foot putt, I think, than he does during these games. Of course, when you're playing this well, there's a comfort zone.
Baseline, Annam. I think this kid has a really bright future at Marquette. 2 more years left. Take a jump shot.
Starts making that, you're right.
And that is the 8th rebound for Mikal Bridges to go along with his 25 points and 4 assists. Block shots as well.
It really is amazing how they can play at a fast pace and then
slow it down.
Just get what they want. Nice denial.
Elliott stepping in the passing lane. Jamal Kane in no man's land, almost threw it away and does. Watch it. Here's Bridges with DiVincenzo, and he's fouled.
Just protecting, not much he could do.
3:05 to go. Villanova up big.
lights out second half thus far for Villanova. 17 to 22 from the floor, hitting 77% of the shots. That's why they have this comfortable lead right now. But coming up on the post-game show, make sure you stick around. Mikal Bridges is going to join us live on set. Plus, the latest from the Sparks in that St. John's Xavier game, and the highlights from a game that I know Gus Johnson is still angry he didn't call that overtime thriller involving Providence. Guys?
All right, Rob. My colleague Justin Kutcher did a terrific job, especially on that Cartwright call.
Sure did.
As you take a look at the stars that'll be playing in our next game.
Pretty impressive array, and they've had solid games against one another. You think Stoner gets on the subway with that lapel flower? What do you think?
I don't know. Angel Delgado, the all-time leading rebounder in the Big East Conference.
But it was really nice senior night in Jersey. I don't know if you saw that. Those kids, seldom anymore, right? Put your arm around kids for 4 years of that talent. And good to see him back here, Howard.
Here's Booth, the inbounder. Cosby Roundtree on the court now. Pascal steps into a three.
Nice rebound.
DiVincenzo, new shot clock for Villanova.
Everybody's a threat.
Now Pascal explodes to the basket and just lays it in.
Boy, it's like a happy family. Share the applesauce. Share the pie.
Eric Pascal with 13. He had 4 at the break. What happened? How did Villanova just blow it open?
They're so steady and explosive. You know it's going to come, and you got to get stops to match it. But Marquette just doesn't have that kind of firepower defensively, and also putting up pressure up front on their people.
Marcus Howard has come back onto the bench for Marquette. He's still kind of favoring that right shoulder. There he is. Ran into Pascal. That's like running into a train. And Pascal going out of the game now.
Back-to-back games, and showed some respect for opponent too.
Pascal leaves with 13.7 rebounds and a couple of assists. $19,812, a sellout crowd here at Madison Square Garden. As a matter of fact, it's the first quarterfinal sellout in Big East tournament history. In the new Big East, that is.
Pretty impressive. Fans have put their arms around these programs.
Booth pulls up inside, can't get the roll. John fouled. 2:14 to play.
Just a giveaway foul on that particular play.
It's been some great crowds in the tournament so far, and only can get better. Villanova travels well, Providence travels well, Xavier travels well.
Seton Hall's local, when you think of it.
That's right.
St. John's had a lot of people here. And the Hoyas as well, a lot of alums in this area.
Theo John gets it first. And they missed the second. Cosby Roundtree with the rebound. Jermaine Samuels, freshman from Franklin, Mass, in the game for the Cats.
Yeah, because he's a head injury as well.
Booth off the dribble.
How about that? Staring it down.
Starting to really find his rhythm. Booth had 2 at the break, 15 now.
Healthy.
Finally, he's really battled injuries during his career at Villanova. A knee last year, then the hand this year.
He's really, you're right. It's been tough on him, but he keeps bouncing back. He responds beautifully.
It's a cat that really knows how to play the game. Baltimore, Maryland.
That was your old stomping grounds, right, in the early part of your career?
Long time ago, Coach. DC, Baltimore, Virginia.
So you covered Big John in those days and Gary Williams?
You know, I've never been afraid of a coach. But there is one person that I was afraid of in college basketball. Her name was Mary Finley.
Oh, sure. Was faculty.
Her name is Mary Finley.
Faculty advisor.
She would just look at you, folks, and it would make you just want to go to the library. Miss Finley.
And she made sure the kids graduated, though, did their work.
Inside, off the glass and in for John. Jay Wright against Georgetown on Saturday with the win. He tied the 57-year-old record of Al Severance for the most wins in Villanova history with 413. Severance roamed the sideline at Villanova from 1936 to 1961.
He recruited me.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Did he come to your house?
No, I went to the campus. But he was a charm. He was a law professor. And obviously his vocabulary was a little different than mine. And entertaining as could be, and always pleasant as, you know, we competed against Villanova. And boy, they got some players then, too. Wally Jones comes to mind. Of course, Billy Nocchione.
Loose ball and a tie-up.
That's great.
Was Coach Raveling at Villanova when you were in college?
He was a senior. And there it is.
Here's a senior, knowing that
it's all about.
Big East may be, his Big East career may be over.
But he'll be in a tournament someplace, I think. You know, if they're blessed and get an opportunity, the big one. Although obviously this one would have helped.
Wow.
He's been fun to watch, though.
A treat. Gillespie. And a whistle and foul with 48.4 to go. Andrew Rousey. A long journey with the transfer from UNC Asheville to Marquette. Finding a spot in Coach Woj's starting backcourt. He's been excellent. And he'll end this tournament against Villanova with another big game. Rousey with 22.
And our director, Brian Lilly, of course, he's been around the emotion of these tournaments and careers. It's so touching and gripping. The highs and lows. Tough to be on that end of it.
Kane picks up the rebound. 45 to go. Subs getting an opportunity to play. Villanova. Ball knocked out of bounds. Matt Kennedy on the court. Denny Grace as well for the Cats. Denny Grace with the rebound.
And these are the kids that work the scouting. Do so much work to get the mainstays ready. Something they'll never forget. Playing here.
Tom Liebig also on the court. He'll get the box score as Villanova will hold it up. The Wildcats shoot 57%. Bridges with 25. Brunson with 21. Booth with 15. Marcus Howard at 23. Rousey had 22. And Villanova improves to 28-4 on the season as they hand Marquette a 94-70 loss.
Impressive.
Very. Team basketball on display tonight with the Villanova Wildcats.
Done with style, too. That's nice touch there. Respect they have for one another. Jay Wright knows how tough that kid has been to play against.
And let's take a look.